In this tutorial I am going to create a low poly city, and we will learn some techniques of the texturing and mapping as well. For this tutorial I am going to use the Greeble plugin, which you can download from max.clanky.com. It's free, and you can just go to the plugin section and choose your version of the Max and download it. It has a guide, a help file to actually tell you how you can install this uh, plugin on your Macs. Well, I create a plan, a simple plan, and just give it a gray material be to be visible for you. You can see it better. I usually use the gray color. Okay, everything is quite default. I choose the size of 150. And I will start creating some random line. These line will be our roads. Now I just create them, not very uniformly, just create them mess. In the future you can create them better for your own city. I will enable the render and enable them for the viewport to see it as an object and as a rectangular object. The length I choose the tenth, but it is not really important. I just want you to see it taller and you can feel it. The width of my road I choose the 4. Okay, once I finish the setting I will start creating the other roads, just something random, and after finish it I can choose them and set them, change the size and other thing. So now I just try to refine them, the position, place and the shape. Once this tutorial finish you will know why I choose this kind of the shape for my road, because we are just going to create a low poly city and we don't want just have a straight roads. I think in the real life also the roads are not so straight. Okay, you can use more roads. I select all of them, Control V to copy all of what I have in my scene and hide what I already copied. What I already copied is already selected, so I hide them because later I will need them. I select the plan, and in the compound objects I will use the Pro Boolean. Actually it is better to use the Pro Cutter, but for some reason I am not going to use this because actually my main object is a plan, the flat plan. That's why it may cause some problem for me, so I just use a Pro Boolean, and that's why I just hide some of the object because I will unhide them later. But if you know the Pro Cutter, you may better to use the Pro Cutter. That's fine, we just want to get the result. So I am using Pro Boolean. Subtract is selected. I will active the cookies, and more important is go to the advanced option and make quad active. Make the quad option active. It will help after Boolean. You will have new faces. One thing I forgot is that I need to attach, or actually first I need to convert all my splines to the uh, editable poly or edit poly, because spline cannot be boolean, so I just wanna convert one of them to editable poly and attach rest of the Okay, so they become one object now. Back to the plan and boolean, start picking and just pick it. Okay, so you can see the new faces created, and the new faces, the shape, some is rectangular, some is quad, and some is actually triangular. And this shape, this new faces depended on the quad size. So I choose by default is 3. You saw the result. If beat 10, the size of these new faces will be bigger. So I just choose the 5, and maybe I use the 4. Each of these faces is one house. Well, 4 is enough. Just I choose one name for this ground or field. I can unhide other objects and hide my field object. Now actually it was better I copy after I convert them to editable poly, but it's no matter, I will do it again fast. Okay, so nothing else I need to change. Now this time I will choose my roads, select my roads, and go to the Pro Boolean and start picking again, subtraction, and just start picking. So I have my road, as you can see, but the color of the road is black. In fact, it subtract the two objects. So what is the result? What we can see is this road. So uh, actually the normal faces are inverse. So I need to use the normal modifier to let the top have a color and bottom be black. So I use the normal, and now I hide the all objects, so you can see the field, which will be the houses, and you can see the road, which I just changed the color to be darker. So we have the road separately, and we have the field, which we will put the houses also separately. Okay, I hide the road because I don't need it now, and convert my object to the editable poly. Select all the faces, and using the insert, okay, uh, all the groups, it will be grouply insert my object, but I will use a bipolygon because I need between each house be a little bit of space, so I need to insert them by polygon. So you can see the red part is where the house are, and the white part are the free space between two houses. So choose a value which you think is good, 0.7. Okay, I do not deselect this, and just apply the Grebel modifier. After install the Grebel plugin, it will be show in the modifier list, Grebel modifier, and you can see the boxes created on the field where we select them. I do not want to talk much about the Grebel plugin. You can see uh, other tutorial about this, and even the help uh, document in its website. It totally has two parts. Is a panels is the main part of the boxes, You can active generate to show or not show them. And the second part are other small boxes which will be on top of the panels and car widgets. So widget, you can see there is a 5 kind of the widgets. So you can deactivate them. I just choose one of them. I don't want to make it so uh, complex and busy, so I just choose one of them, and I can choose a max and min size, means what be the size of them at the max, at the and at the minimum. And also I can set the height. There are some also in the bottom. There is no problem, usually it will be happen with this plugin, but we no need to care about them. Okay, one thing is that the panel have the material ID of 2 and the widget have the material ID of 2 and the panel have material ID of 1. So the main box, big box, have the material ID of 1 and the small box at the top have the material ID of 2. So it is one of the advantages. We can have the two different material for top and the bottom. Also you can select the top, just active the select tops option and the top will be selected, and then you can come and go to the edit poly. Now the top are selected and we can give them a new material ID. So I give them 10. Later I will tell you why I choose 10 instead of using the 3. I use the 3. So now just keep in mind I use the 10 for the top. I back to the Gribble. Now this time I select the side. It will not show anything because show end result is active. I deactivate this option in this button and select sides, so all the sides will be selected for widget and for the panel. Again, new edit poly selected. I will not use the old edit poly. I will apply the new edit poly and again select polygon. So the polygon of the sides all are selected, and now again I can give them a new material ID. This time I will choose the 11. So 10 and next is 11. So now I convert all to editable poly. So and as you can see, the material ID 1 is the other parts, actually the street between the houses. So the ID 11 is the sides and 10 is the top. So I choose a select ID of 2. We don't have the 2 now. There is no 2 because already we changed them to 10 and 11. So I have the sides. As you can see, we need this front view or side view of the houses. So I already select some of the pictures and we can go to we use the multi sub object material. Just set the number of the material. We just have 3. Okay, the first one is the side. So choose the picture. I choose my picture which I already created, and this is for the side which the material is actually the 12, and the next is for the top, sorry, 11 and 10. 10 is the top roof, and the 12 is the roads. So you can see now, if you render, all the sides get the similar material, and the top and the roads doesn't have anything, and they show as black. So I just apply the new standard material. I'm not going to use the V-Ray or any special, just want to use the normal texture. So again, for the roof, I'm using another material, a very normal, is one of the 3D Max texture, free texture. And for the roads, I will just actually copy them and just use the change name to road, and use the asphalt texture, asphalt picture. Okay, and okay, so we have the three, we apply three material for the side, the roof, and the roads. I'm using actually the V-Ray material, and I want just give them the lighting, so we're using the V-Ray frame buffer, and color mapping, just change the gamma to 2.2, and use the indirect illumination irradiance map and the light cache, and using very low settings, just want to show it in a better vision. So and I want to use the V-Ray Sun, it will ask me if I want to apply the V-Ray sky environment in my environment. I will choose yes, yes I want it, and just set my light. And because I'm not using the V-Ray camera, V-Ray physical camera, so intensity multiplier is so much. Now I need to decrease it, so I will decrease it to 0.02 and render. Okay, this is the result. Until now, you see all the sides have the same material. You can see the roads, which now is empty, and later we will fill it. And just increase the light. Okay, better now, not so bad. Being closer, these techniques, this tutorial, this kind of the low poly houses are just for the far view. The houses which will be near and close to the camera, we will create them, and just these are for the ground background of work. Okay, the next is that I don't want to use all of them in the same material. I want some of them have the different textures. So what I will do is that I will select my sides material, which was the material ID of the 11. So I will select the 11, select them, and apply a new modifier, which is material by element. I will activate the random distribution, and I will say how many different ID I want to have. I will choose 5, but you can choose 10. That's why I choose my material ID from the 10. I applied the new edit poly just for testing my work. So now see what will be happen. Material ID from 1 to 5. I mention you again that I choose the material ID from 10, 10, 11, 12 for my roof and sides and street, because I didn't want it will be mixed by the with the material by element modifier. So now I am testing them. I choose material ID after 1. You can see some of the houses material ID are some of the houses sides are selected. So randomly it choose totally have the 5 different material ID for the sides. Now if I choose the number 1, you can see the number 1 just apply material ID of 1 just apply to those houses. So select ID of 2. Yes, you can see others houses are selected. So I need to uh, change my increase actually the number of the sub-object material. So we will have the 7 materials, so 2, 3, 4 and 5. Just copy them and just change the map, another map. You can see it already created. Okay, 5 and well, these are the pictures that I have, but I will also let you know how I create them, because maybe it's so hard for you to find a picture is absolutely from the front of the building. We don't need to search a lot to find them. I use this picture, just crop it in the Photoshop, the one side that I need. Then double click on the background layer just to make sure it will be the new layer as a layer. So it will be created to the layer. So I can now go to the edit, transform and distort, or sometimes I will use perspective. Just move the edges to the top to make it full with the building. Okay, if you see same as this picture that there is a one tree in one side and there is a problem, and I can use another half of the building. Okay, almost from the middle. We don't need to be so accurate because we cannot see it very well. Layer via copy, so it will create that selected part, and so I have two part. Just that half part selected, I will flip horizon and move it to the another side, so I have this texture of the building from the front view, same as what I already created here. You can see this also I used from the same technique, and all of them use the same technique. They wasn't really from the front view. This is for the roof also material, and also I have the asphalt material. So it is how I create the texture, and now you can see I use 5 different texture. So now we are not just using one similar texture for all the sides. I have the variation of the 5. You can choose the 10. So in my before I used the material ID from 11 and 10, because for example if you use the 5 element for the side, so you can start from the 6. Okay, so now we have a good variation on them. After this finish, we need to start the road. But before, I need to say you one thing. We have the here. If I render from the very close view, you can see the asphalt material of here is the size is very big. I need to apply the UVW modifier. But the problem is that if I apply UVW modifier, it will be applied to whole the texture, because there is a whole uh, this is all one object, one unique object. But what I will do is that I will use the uh, channel map channel. After I apply UVW map in the channels, I have the map channel, and I will change it from 1 to 2. I will go to my asphalt material, and I will make sure the asphalt texture map channel also is 2. So now if I render it, you will notice that it will just uh, affect it on this texture. So I am telling UVW map to affect to which texture. I choose number 2 because all the texture by default I number 1. So I just change it. Instead I change others, so you can see now UVW map already applied to this, and you can see another side is dark is because it's a shadow. So just select different materials. You can see just this part will be changed. One also, I think the one will be enough. Okay, it seems that I move the camera. Just move the camera back, and now you can see. Okay, so this is also one of the techniques for the texture. How when you have the one unique object, how you can control the UVW map on them. So after creating the city is time for the road. I will unhide the road, and now I can hide the city. For the road I am going to use the UVW map. Is not the straight road, so it need to apply because I want to create the line of the streets. So I will convert all to the edit poly because I use the normal modifier, and there is some small problem here, but we won't care it, and because we cannot now change it, already create our city. So apply unwrapped UVW. I hope you know about this. I will select the polygons, and all the polygons are selected. If not selected, just select them. If I go to the open UVW, because my object is just a flat object, so I can see it very clearly, I no need to change anything. But if you can scale it, just change the size to not be out of the place. But in fact it doesn't need any change because this is just one flat object. So I will go to the render UVW. I will use the high size 2.2048 to 2048, and just render it. We will use a high resolution for this. And press. We don't need to change anything, and just render UV template. So it rendered my work, and I save it, but I want to save it with the high quality, so I'm saving this as a TGA. We don't need alpha split. I will open it in the Photoshop. Now I need to color it. I just remove the other pictures. Now I want to create the line along these roads, yellow lines. And I will deselect the extra part which will be selected because our modeling wasn't so good, we didn't pay attention well, so I need to remove this part. Just change them to black to not be selected, not let me cut our selection. And again select, but there is some other part again. I want to deselect, but it's better just change the color again. Okay, we will fix all the part that has a problem, and again select the inside part. Now I want the all around the left hand side of the street have the yellow stroke color. So I will go to the edit stroke and choose the color, yellowish color, and apply it. And you can see it is yellow. And we will hide actually the black behind it, so you will not see those green uh, lines. So now while it is selected, I want to just create the line in the middle, and my shape is so complex, it's not so uh, straight, so I will use the contract. I want to contract my selection by 5 pixels. You can see they become closer to each other, but it's still not enough. So I need to repeat this step again. Again, go to the select, modify, contract, and again by 5 pixels is still needed to become closer. We will not create something so great and beautiful, just something, just try to do it very fast. Again, I need to let them be closer, modify, contract by 3. I do believe one more time I need 3. It is too narrow, but I think it's okay. I will zoom out to make sure all the places are almost fine. Yes. And now I will go to the edit, fill with this yellow of the foreground color. Okay, so all the place will be filled with this color. I will control D to deselect. I can remove some part, but in fact I really no need them, so I just delete in the which created in the middle part, the yellow part. This extra part I will select and hit delete to remove. For the all I did already, and you can see the result. This is my road. I will save my work. Maybe always is good to keep the original file, so I will save it as a JPG file and just save it. I know the UVW map, so I will go and choose another material and apply the road map. Is not applied. Okay, you can see the we create this road beautifully, and you can see the green lines here is actually because we here we hide, but we also need to apply the asphalt for the ground of the our roads. So I have two ways to apply it. One is that once this is my asphalt, I will go to the define pattern and apply this as a pattern. Well, okay it, and then go here, choose a new layer and put it behind the road, the yellow lines. Go to the edit, fill it, and choose the pattern, and from the list I choose the asphalt which I created, and you can see whole of this had been uh, filled with the asphalt material, but it is quite big for me, so I small it. But I still think that this is quite big size. The size of the dust is big, so I delete, just keep one of the layer, and just make it smaller, and copy whole of my place. Just merge them to not have so many layer. Okay, and now just save it again with the same name. So you can see it already applied to my work. So unhide all the parts. You can see the green lines here is actually from the UVW map. I already unhide my background. It is because I already have the unwrap, so I can collapse it. So actually that green line could not be seen in the render, but in the viewport could be seen. Well, our work almost done. The next part is that I will copy paste them around. Don't forget to select the roads also as well, and to make the bigger city. Just copy them. So now maybe you understood why I choose those kind of the roads, because I want to create this variation of the building, not just be so straight roads, plus or minus shape. So it is our result of the work. You can make it bigger city. I hope you enjoyed of this tutorial.